A lot of videos today going over Gilroy and all the new events we have. Gilroy is a very mid hero. We have people that have him at Chivalry 10 and he's just not performing well at all. I've been playing mine. Mine is leveled up. He's Chivalry 1 right now, fully maxed out, and he's just not good. Not a good hero. So let's go to a positive note because they've buffed 4 legendary heroes that you might have, and these are really good buffs. I feel like this company is very much listening to the community. So if you have any concerns, let them know over at their website under suggestions or bugs if it's a bug. Much love to all my supporters over at the Netmarble website. Come and support me as your content creator and I will send you 200 stamina today. We'll know about the new rewards for January very soon. All the links are down below. Like this bug we had with Sarah where she wasn't stopping the enemy from knocking back your attack gauge if you're Serpent Favor. Now it works. This is so good for anybody in Arena who has a slower Morgan than the enemy. Let that Morgan come in and try to knock back your attack gauge with your Sarah on your team. She won't knock back your attack gauge. Then your Morgan will be able to go knock back their attack gauge because they're not going to have Sarah on their team. And then you can take control. Let's get to these buffs. We now have Lot with a 100% chance to apply Oblivion on his Frost Relic skill 2. With his Chivalry 3, we have a 50% chance anytime an ally attacks to inflict Brainwash. Now we're going to inflict depletion with that Brainwash and give that person we Brainwash attack increase 3, 80% additional attack increase. Could you imagine brainwashing their Bedivere, giving him 80% additional attack, and then having that Bedivere attack one of its allies? I think it's going to be really strong. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. It is a 50% chance whenever an ally attacks. So it's just a Chivalry 3 that will happen when it happens. Chivalry 4 is when attempting to inflict abnormal status. I've got a picture of this on the left-hand side. We've got a 100% chance to get Blessing, a chance for the ally with the lowest HP to gain amplification, and then a chance to do depletion on one random enemy. These new additional depletions are very good going through the Forbidden Dungeon and really good in PvP. His Chivalry 8 3-turn cooldown, independent chance to trigger Eternal Damnation on each enemy. Now it has a 100% chance to decrease each enemy's vigor by 0.5 and a 100% chance for each ally to recover vigor by 0.5. Okay, more reducing enemies' vigor and increasing allies' vigor. Sounds pretty wild. Eternal Damnation increases the duration of debuffs, abnormal status, and dots by 1 turn. Plus now we have all this decreased vigor, increased vigor for us. Claudius got some nice changes to her damage. We're going from 88% to 100% here on the skill 2 for the Flame Relic. I'll take any increase in damage on any hero, especially legendary heroes. Skill 3 goes from 246 to 276. 90% chance to inflict confusion. Now we're up to 100% chance to inflict confusion. Chivalry 1 is tied to Insight Madness. We have 100% chance to trigger when using skill 3 to gain amplification, effect accuracy increase 2 for 2 turns. Attack speed decrease for 1 turn and reduce the target's attack gauge by 40%. Those are the new changes, and that's the new picture of the ability on the left-hand side. Chivalry 3 Bottomless Greed is tied to Savage Technique. Now we're going to get an attack gauge increase of 20% when we use this skill. 100% chance to trigger when using skill 1. If you have attack speed, 100% chance to reduce the target's attack gauge by 20%. And then a 35% to attack again. Get 100% attack gauge, attack increase 1, and prep skill 1 where you fire off skill 1. I don't know if you've seen this ability before, but she kind of just keeps firing skill 1 2 or 3 times. I guess it's a 35% chance and lowers the attack gauge over and over. Plus now we're getting this attack increase. So more damage. Claudius Chivalry 4 was changed from whenever you attack somebody with abnormal status immunity, you would get 10% additional attack gauge. Now it's just every single time you attack, you get 10% attack gauge. I just got her Chivalry 8 today and it looks really strong with this new addition of hit accuracy. Anytime an ally attacks, we get attack speed to the whole entire team and we get hit accuracy, which is really hard to come by. That way we can't be evaded. We need hit accuracy to hit because there's a lot of people with evasion. There's a lot of bosses that have high evasion. And you know, Bedivere, that guy can never aim. So we need some hit accuracy. New Gawain, this is good to see after that video I did yesterday comparing Gawain to Cormac. Now this first passive he has only activates if it's day or heat outside. Not if you change it to day or heat. Only if you zone in, you start the battle and it's day or heat, which I think is pretty bad because his skill 3 does turn it to day and heat, but this will not activate afterwards. This has to be that map is day or heat, or you bring in somebody like Tauren that immediately turns it to day or heat, and then you get 10% additional attack now and 5% defense. This is the problem we've had with Gawain. Like, his passives and chivalries aren't the best, and this is a good example of it. Why can't we have this take effect when he does his skill 3 and turns it into day and heat? Then we should get a 10% additional attack and 5% defense. It shouldn't be a condition for a legendary that it has to be hot or day as we zone into the map. For him to get this, we need it to be nighttime for Morgan to give everybody 20% additional damage. That's why we use Tauren to do that. But that's everyone getting 20% additional damage. This is only 10% additional attack, 5% defense. Still great. I mean, these changes to Gawain are welcome. Gawain Chivalry 3 charges his attack gauge by 30%. Now we're going to charge that attack gauge by 70%. This is when he uses his skill 3 Haze. When using skill 3, change the weather to day or heat. We charge our attack gauge now to 70%, and we increase our damage by 20% with this damage dealt. Doing a skill 3 with Storm, big AoE attack, we get a 70% increase, and we're going to do that again as long as we have the vigor to do it with. Do another big AoE hit with 20% additional damage. I like that. There's only 2 max uses, and it's an 8-turn cooldown. But in Arena, when you first start out and you do that big AoE, you can come back to doing it really, really quick. With more damage, I feel like people are going to die. Chivalry 4 is a skill 3 damage increase, 346% on that flame single target to 386. Flame single target seems like it would hit pretty damn hard. Then we've got AoE, 2 AoE attacks on those other relics for Storm and Frost. They went from 186 to 196. Only a 10% increase in attack, but I think that's pretty good. From the testing I did with him versus Cormac, this is pretty solid. With everything we're getting added to this, I feel like he's becoming now more of a legendary. Chivalry 8, his Rod of Justice. If current target is 10% or lower, we're going to remove the positive immunities and protections, and then we're going to kill them. It's going to do damage of 20% of their max HP. Obviously, if they're at 10% health, this will kill them. But now we're going to get attack increase 3, which is 80% additional attack, plus hit accuracy 3 for 1 turn. That's strong. We saw that yesterday in my video when Guinevere wouldn't die. She had the damage immunity on her, but she was under 10% health. So he came in and hit her and killed her immediately. Now we're going to get attack increase and hit accuracy increase. That's good because this won't happen that often. Clarisin is great. I've been really enjoying her. She's got her damage increase from 83% to 89%. But when you have Chivalry 1, you increase that jaw twister now to 120%, and you ignore 10% defense. Before it was, I think, 89%. Now it goes up to 120. And before we ignored 7%, now we're ignoring 10%. But this gets even better if you have her Chivalry 8, because now she'll prep for this move, and it goes up to 120%, but ignores 15% of defense, and you can inflict attack speed decrease 1 on the enemy. Now, this happens pretty often, and I'm going to have to do a video on this because it is a 1-turn cooldown, but the way it's working now, you see how they changed the wording to prep jaw breaker? You get a 70% increase in your attack gauge. This is acting really weird when you get an increase from this jawbreaker, plus you're using her Frost Relic to get a 50% increase in your attack gauge when you use that skill 3. Because you want to take a turn and use another ability, but it's forcing you to take a turn and just use this ability for 120% of damage, ignoring 15% defense, which is kind of sad because I played her in a Vigor set and I got to take like 3 turns in a row, but it forced me to do this move 3 times in a row. You don't expect it to force you to do a move like this, especially if you have enough vigor to do the skill 2, and that cooldown is up for you to get 40% additional attack gauge for the whole entire team, along with buffs, critical damage buffs, and crit rate buffs for yourself. Or you could do the skill 3 and get even bigger hits along with putting up the big debuffs, decrease defense, decrease evasion. It shouldn't force you to do this move. It should do this move, the additional jawbreaker, and then you should get that attack gauge increase. And when you take your turn, you get to do whatever skill you want. I'll have to do a dedicated video to show you this. And then once we show this to the company, maybe we can have it changed if it needs to be changed. We'll break it down and see further. All the relics here on the skill 2 got their damage increase from 86%, 102% to 110%, 110, and 120. That's a pretty big jump, going from 86 to 110, and then this one from 102 to 120. I'm enjoying the updates. They're doing really well with every single update that I see, and I love that they're buffing heroes so often. This isn't like a one-off. They're doing this all the time. They're taking our feedback, they're looking at their analytics, and they're increasing this. Even though they're small increases and you might not think it's much, it's a lot. It adds up. And if they need to increase it more, they'll do it more. Let me know your thoughts on all these changes down below. Come and join us in Discord if you would. Appreciate your time, your love, and your support. I will see you all in a video soon.